politics, and I don't know, like it's too many deals, and then it's also just a lot of like snakes in the grass type niggas that's ready to just set you up. Like it's really a dog eat dog type of situation. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. Like even doing the performances there, like, you know, it's crazy because hip hop is so dominant. Yet alone, there was only 2-3 spots in Palm Beach, you know, venues where they accepted hip hop to be performed at, right, and everything. Because at the end of the day, you know, these white people are the ones that's owning this shit and everything, even though they playing our fucking music. But, you know, it's just, you know, so the niggas that actually, you know, had their dealings with the owners by putting on the events, you know what I mean? Of course, they, you know, want to put their own people on and stuff. That's cool. But it just ends up not doing it for the culture anymore, but just like trying to scalp some money, trying to scalp some, you know, get some bad, whatever. You know, so it's just like it ain't no love really, and like it's a lot of like just, you know, the clout for it, and niggas just forgot what it was about. I don't know, man, but I don't know. Now producer wise, I would have to say it broke out with Double A. This is the sound. You know what I mean? Me and him went to the same church and all of that shit. But yeah, him breaking out Kodak Black and NBA Youngboy. You know, still, I don't know. You know, like things. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. I still try to figure it out myself, man. Like, you know, there's some talent out there. But hey.
I mean, yeah, like to get back to that, like, all right, so I'm 28, so high school, middle school, high school, you know, especially in sports and music, like we coming from Dade, we looked at Broward and Palm Beach, you know, a certain way, and you know, the people ahead of us, you know, they led that way. And I remember like football, for example. Like I remember I went to private school. I went to Pace, but we used to always play Bell Glaze every year. Used to hate them niggas. Like it was like that rivalry that was like this Dade versus Palm Beach. But like after the game, you know, like shit, we cool shit. At the end of the day, we all from South Florida. You feel me? Like, and I think in our generation, as we got older, we start realizing like, this shit ain't where it's at no more. Like, at the end of the day, you know, when people, you know, look at the state of Florida and they look at us, like, we different from a lot of folk, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people call us country, but we got that city, that slick talk, you know, at the same time. So it's like, you know, I was telling one of my homeboys the other day, I like, you know, we gotta do better though in all aspects. Like, you know, in sports, you know, like especially in football, we take that shit over. There's a whole bunch of us in the league, but when it comes to music, it's like it's so much talent down here. It's like, you know, it's like I tell people all the time, what's really the difference between South Florida and Atlanta, or, you know, Charlotte or Houston or LA or New York? Like, what's really the difference as far as like talent wise? Because we have the talent, like, you know, like when Denzel Curry.
Shit, man, I honestly feel like I feel like it's the spirits, man.
Yeah.
I think it's more spiritual than anything. Like it's a lot of trauma in Florida, man. And just like you said, you know what I mean, it's people before you that you know, quote unquote taught you the way of how they see things.
Right.
It's all these different perceptions of stuff, and you know, like that was also one of the reasons why I had to just, you know, gonna leave, man. Like my whole mentality was, look, man, I'm finna fall off the cliff, man, and you know, if I fall and die, but if I fall and land, I'm still here. I'm not going back to Florida unless, like, you know, a nigga done did some really fucked up shit and, you know, be in rehab or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it was you know, because it's dark forces out here in California too, definitely.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've seen and have, you know, me and Abika experienced a lot of supernatural type shit out here. So, but yeah, man, I just feel like there's just this, you know, I came to visit Florida, I think like a year ago. Mm-hmm. It's just this depressing type of energy in the atmosphere. Like niggas are oppressed.
Yeah,
they are oppressed, man, and people would do anything down there to like not, you know, wish you the best because they're not there. They're not, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like that shit with Tupac and Juice, man. Mm-hmm. I ain't shit, and you know what I mean? And you're not finna amount to be better than me, my nigga. Like, cause you know.
I think, yeah, like, you know, it's like we literally, you know, we come from the bottom, so it's like, you know, when majority of us, like, wherever we come from, you know, our southern roots, like people from like Georgia, like our ancestors came from Georgia or whatnot. Some of our ancestors came from like the islands and whatnot, and it's like when you come from we call it the mud. Like when you come from here, it's like it's hard, bro. Like it's because again too, like we deal with a lot of stuff. People think like, oh, when they think of Florida, they think of the nice beaches or something, but they don't know that we deal with racism. At the end of the day, we deal with segregation. Like it's so much stuff, and then like it's sad too. Like you would think our own people, our own like color, like we'll like look out for each other, but it's like you said, like. Some people be so deep that they get so desperate and like, you know what, man? If I gotta fuck somebody over just to get this bill, I'll do it. But it can't be that way. It can't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you know when people say when they move to LA, when they move to Atlanta, when they move outside, like I be like, I can't blame y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just tell them like, just don't forget where you come from. You know, like I can move to fucking Delaware somewhere, like I still rep my state, you know, just because that's where I come from. But you right, like it's people, it's crazy down here, bro. Like Charlamagne said, we the craziest people, dog. Like it's ridiculous, dog. Like it's crazy, man. But I had a couple more questions before we end the podcast. So usually I have like, you know, a top 5. You know, you being a producer / you know, artist. Well, you're an artist overall, but like, you know, you produce, you rap. So I'm gonna have 2 sets of top 5. So for you, I want to know who's in your top 5 as far as like producers / beat makers and another top 5 for like artists. Like, you know, it could be a solo artist or it could be a group in that top 5 too as well.
Alright, top 5 producers, Timbaland, Neptunes, alright, so you got Timbaland, Neptunes, Dark Child.
Dang, Dark Child, boy.
Quincy Jones. And one more, Dr. Dre.
So why? Cause you the first producer that say Dark Child. Like why Dark Child? And Dark Child underrated too. Damn.
Yeah, Dark Child. I grew up because you know what I mean, staying with my mom and shit. Like I said, it wasn't hip hop, but it was a whole lot of R&B. So.
Right.
Like Dark Child, he had a lot of like Brandy shit. you know, Destiny Child. Like it was at one point in time, you know what I mean? I think I was like when internet first was out and shit. Like I used to go on his website and stuff and like try to figure out, you know, how to even link with him, you know, because that was one of them. Dark Child growing up. Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. And then you got, of course, you talked about Timberland. What about like Why the Neptunes? You talked about Dre, Why the Neptunes, and Quincy Jones. Like what made them like make you a top 5?
Because Neptunes, man, they had a crazy sound too. They did some abnormal shit that I fuck with. You know, it was that time and era. It was either Timberland or Pharrell on some shit.
Right.
And then Quincy Jones, man, you know what I mean? Like, of course, you know, he did Michael Jackson stuff and everything, but I truly was ignorant with the amounts of work that he put into this culture. I saw his documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, I did too.
That shit to this day still blows my mind, like how early, you know, he was in the game and still is, and you know what I mean, not even knowing like a sheet of music and stuff, just going off of feeling and emotion and all of that, you know. So yeah, I respect them because you know what I mean. My long-term goal is to be to do scores and stuff, man, and you know, conduct the orchestra and all of that stuff. Like I went to school to learn how to do that type of shit, and hopefully I can bring that, but you know, into our culture.
Right.
Right.
Cause I feel like cause you're right, cause you will be there, cause it's something that's really missing. I mean, Kanye to me was like the last one who actually, you know, he was one of the ones, you know, Diddy, but you know they time is, you know, the time is not like how it used to be back in the day, like.
Right, and I'm tripping, man. Like, I love anything that Diddy touch, man. I feel like our classics. It sounds like a soundtrack to my ears.
Right.
I fuss with Diddy engineering. You know what I mean? I was a big Kanye fan. His second album definitely was moving and changed my life and everything. And I'm still with Kanye to this day, but you know, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like when he got a project out, I'm gonna take a listen to it. Because I'm still inspired by him. You know, but you know, I guess it's the fact like I'm getting older myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just certain things that I'm gonna allow within, and it's certain things that I'm not. So.
Oh yeah. Cause like it was like for me, like as a DJ, like it's certain stuff that, you know, as I got older, you know, getting close to, you know, being 30 and stuff, tasting that wine. That's what the jits be saying. They're like, oh, you about to be 30, you about to taste the wine. I'm like, bro, but like it's certain stuff that, you know, like these kids coming up, I can't listen to now. My old shit, like the old Ludacris and all that, I can listen to, but like the newer stuff, what they talking about, I can't really relate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not. It don't give me that message. You feel me? It's a few new artists that give me that that vibe, but it's not like how it was back in our day. You know, so let's talk about artists. Like, who's in your top 5 as far as like artists?
Top 5 in artists: Ludacris, Jay-Z. Bika, myself.
That's what's up.
And Self-Made.
That's what's up.